What if Vegito never defused? How would this change the entire show of Dragon Ball? Now, this is a what if Vegito never defused and the permanent fusion was a true statement. So it's not like how in Dragon Ball Z, when Boo's magic wore the fusion off because of the magic effect of the earrings, or the horrible retcon that they did, that the fusion is because they're not a Kai, and they're not a god being, so it's not permanent, only lasts an hour. What if what Elder Kai said in Dragon Ball Z was true, and it was completely permanent, they become one being forever, no matter what? So, let's get right into it, and let's begin. Our story would start off with right when Vegito was absorbed by Buhan. Now remember, Vegito allowed himself to be fused and be absorbed on purpose because he wants to go inside of Buu and free the others that are in there, similar to this show. But the only difference is that when he drops the key barrier that he has around himself, he does not revert back to Goku and Vegeta. So nothing happens. This small instance changes the entire story of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. The first thing that would happen, very similar, is Vegeta would go find the key signatures as he would go through Buu's body, and he would soon find Majin Buu, Piccolo, Goten and Trunks, or I believe it's Gotenks, and then Gohan, and then the others. Now, instantly Super Buu would notice that something's going on, and he would, as they're cutting off, Piccolo and them, he would obviously go in there and try and fight Vegito. As a lot of you guys know, Vegito was the most OP character in Dragon Ball Z. His power was beyond ridiculous, being a fusion of Goku and Vegeta, plus having the rival boost. He made Buhan look like a joke. He never even tried the entire time. So, Super Buu is absolutely nothing to him. He can easily defeat him in base if he wanted to. So he would just slap him aside, and I do think that he would still remove Majin Buu, Fat Buu, because Vegeta had that thought process of doing it anyway, and they are a fusion of both of their mindsets, so I do think that Vegeta would go through with it, and he'll pull it, and then obviously you know what comes next. They fly out of Buu's body, very similar to the show, and then Kid Buu was created. Now the only difference is that the planet Earth was not blown up, and there is no epic battle on the Supreme Kai's planet. Because as soon as Super Buu is released, as soon as Kid Buu is released and he's out, he's going to obviously charge up the planet-destroying ball that he did. But this time, Vegito stops it and completely destroys the attack, as then he'll fight Kid Buu. And he wants to try and have a little bit of fun because the fight with Buhan was a letdown, he was pretty bored. And he does admit that Kid Buu is a lot weaker than Buhan was, but his fighting tenacity was a lot higher. But obviously, he knows that he has to end this chaos now because he almost blew up the planet, and if Vegito was not paying attention or he wasn't strong enough, it would have destroyed it. So he would then charge up a final Kamehameha, aka Final Flash and Kamehameha together, and completely obliterate Kid Buu, leaving zero trace. Majin Buu is finally gone. Now, the Z-Fighters will return back to normal, and they would then use the Dragon Balls to bring back everybody that was killed by Majin Buu and reverse all the damage, as the world was finally brought at peace. Now, a lot of you guys are wondering, what's Vegito gonna do? Because this is pretty awkward. I mean, now he has two wives, Chi-Chi and Bulma. I mean, Trunks, Goten, and Gohan are now his kids. It's a really interesting subject. He would still appear on the Kami lookout, and it would be very hard to explain. But I think they would work it out. I do think, in my opinion, what would happen is Vegito would he's most likely going to select both of his wives, and I do think that with Bulma and Chi-Chi, I honestly think that he'll pick both of them, and he'll make time out of his day to live with both of them, if that makes sense. Meaning he'll spend time with Bulma, and he'll stay with Bulma, and then mainly, most likely, because because the gravity chamber's there, most like that. But I also do think that he will spend time with Chi-Chi. I do think that Chi-Chi would be the most distraught because she really thought that she could have her husband Goku back, and he's gone just like that. So I honestly think it would take a lot of getting used to, but I think they would work it out in the end. And I honestly think that Goten and Trunks would be pretty excited, you know? Because now their dad is like a fusion, which then makes them brothers in a way. So they're pretty excited about it. And Gohan is old enough now to where to where he's old enough now to where he understands. So he's an adult. So I think that Gohan would accept it. Same with all the other Z fighters, as they would all get used to it. You know, it would definitely be weird, but they would get used to it. Now, the next part of the story is boredom. Vegito's bored. I mean, he is the most powerful being in the universe, as we know of right now in Dragon Ball Z. I mean, there's no other foe that can match him. I mean, the only thing he would probably do is do what every Saiyan does. He'll probably train 100%, which is what he'll do. All Saiyans do that. He'll definitely want to practice his fusion and really get accustomed to the new body, because, I mean, they're fused. Vegito is not neither Goku nor Vegeta. He even said himself. He is his own being, his own mind, and everything. Body and soul, he is a new being created. So, I think that Vegito would probably go back and forth with Bulma and Chi-Chi, and he'll definitely train a lot, getting used to most of the techniques. I think that he would, by the time, as you know who's going to show up, Beerus, he would have had all of the techniques that Goku and Vegeta had already learned. Because they've already learned it, you know, it's almost like halfway for either. So he would know how to do techniques like the Final Flash, he would know how to do things such as the Spirit Bomb, and he would know how to do things such as Super Saiyan 2, since both of them have it, he could easily do it, and also Super Saiyan 3. I honestly think that with a couple of years, I think he could, because remember, they're both fighting geniuses. You all need to remember, Vegito's potential is absolutely ridiculous. Think about it. You have Goku's special potential and Vegeta's elite potential. Put them together into a fusion. That is the most busted potential ever. I think it's even higher than Gohan, Trunks, and anybody else in this series in terms of Saiyan potential. Maybe Broly, but I still think that Vegito has a higher potential than Broly. Broly has the best adaptation. He can adapt to a power extremely quickly. He's a very quick learner. But, I mean, yeah, I think that who has the most potential now is probably Vegito, but Broly's up there still. But now, you know what happens next. Beerus shows up. Vegito would be training on King Kai's planet, as remember, he still has Goku's kind-heartedness, he just has Vegeta's grudginess. But now, they're the perfect fighter. If you think about it, Vegeta does not have the weaknesses of Goku, and Goku does not have the weaknesses of Vegeta. But they both have their own weaknesses, right? They both have different weaknesses of each other. Like Goku lets his guard down, and Vegeta gets too arrogant and cocky. So put them together, and you have a perfect fusion, because now they don't have any weaknesses now. Any weaknesses that they had, the other one filled it in. And any other strengths that they had, the other one filled it in as well. So they are a almost perfect fusion. I do think that Vegeta will probably still be cocky, because they both are. But I think he'll probably mellow out, and he'll probably get used to the fusion, and he'll be chill. But yeah, it'll definitely be pretty interesting. But now, Beerus has shown up, and very similar would be happening on King Kai's planet. This is where the story will change a lot. Yes, Vegeta will still get Super Saiyan God, but that's later on. Or will he? We'll see. Vegeta was on King Kai's planet training, as it's the same in the show, as far away a purple cat awakens from his slumber and calls Whis, as he said that he had a dream of a true fighter to match his power, a Super Saiyan God. Now, I think that Whis would think that it's one of his crazy dreams, as he also would talk to the Oracle Fish, and he wants to know about the answer, saying is there any Saiyans alive after Frieza blew up the planet. And Whis would show all the Saiyans alive, and he would mainly talk about this Vegito being a fusion of Potara earrings, and also the half-breeds as well that are on Earth. Beerus would be very interested in Vegito, seeing that he is two powerful Saiyans that both have turned Super Saiyan, and one of them has also defeated Frieza, and they did the Potara fusion. He would be very interested to see that. So he would go to King Kai's planet, and they would both meet. As the same as I think would happen with, Goku's goofy side, but I also think that Vegeta's side is terrified of Beerus. Because remember, this is Vegito, so he's his own being now. So he does have Vegeta's memories, and he does know of a powerful being. So he would be serious. Now, Beerus would obviously check out Vegito, seeing his stance and seeing how he's standing, because Vegito is a perfect warrior. Think about it, he has Vegeta and Goku's pros added. And Vegeta would ask for a match. I mean, it's a Saiyan, and I think that Goku would he wants to see what Beerus can do. And the fight would go down. Vegito and Base would start fighting him, and it would be pretty much similar to how Super Saiyan 3 Goku handled it. Beerus wouldn't really be trying, but Beerus wants him to go full power. He would turn Super Saiyan and show it off, and he would attack Beerus. Now, by the way, Vegito is extremely powerful. Being a year or so since the Buu arc, and having both Goku and Vegeta's potential, and also how powerful Vegito was even during the Buu saga, Vegito was OP. I mean, very, very, very strong. As in Super Saiyan, he would do 100 times better than Goku did in Super Saiyan 3. Not even a contender. You know, in base form, Vegito could probably easily flick Super Saiyan 3 Goku like Beerus did. But Beerus wants to see his full power. Vegito would then go into Super Saiyan 2. As, remember, Goku and Vegeta both have Super Saiyan 2, so Vegito can easily use Super Saiyan 2 and even Super Saiyan 3, since Goku has it, plus the potential. They would start trading blows with Beerus, and Vegito would then say, alright, let's go full power, and he would turn Super Saiyan 3. As he would give Beerus a really good match. Now, of course, Beerus isn't using his full power in the slightest, and Vegito's Super Saiyan 3, I will say, is almost as strong as Super Saiyan God Goku. But he does not have God Ki, and that weakens his advantages as he cannot sense Beerus, and also God Ki is stronger than normal Ki. So in the end, he would still be knocked out, but Beerus would be very satisfied, but he wants to go to Earth, since there are delicacies there that Whis was saying, and also, there also might be the Super Saiyan God, as that's not a Super Saiyan God doing, there's no God Ki, so maybe the Saiyans on Earth have an idea. So he would definitely commend Vegito, saying that you're one of the strongest people I've ever fought before. But other than that, it's, you know, pretty much over. So the exact same would most likely happen with the party, and then Buu would get mad and make Vegito mad, and Vegito would appear, and they would use the Super Dragon Balls to get the 5 Saiyans to become the Super Saiyan God. But there's one problem. They're one Saiyan short. So, and it's even after Videl said that she was pregnant, because it would have been 2, but now it's 1. So they would ask the dragon for any Saiyans in the universe somewhere to help. And he does find Tarble, who, after explaining the whole situation to him, and also Vegeta being his brother, he would listen to him. And then Super Saiyan God Vegito was born. And the fight would go down. And he would be beyond stronger than Super Saiyan God Goku. His power is easily at the level of when he was as Super Saiyan Blue during the Zamasu saga in the Goku Black arc. As he would give Beerus a super good fight. Not enough for Beerus to go full power, obviously, but enough to be the strongest person that Beerus has ever faced, other than the Gods of Destruction and the Angels. So he's very, very, very pleased that Immortal is that powerful. But the same thing would happen with Vegito losing the form, and he would go Super Saiyan, but he would also have the God Essence as well, similar to how Goku did. So he would be still super strong, even stronger now. He would go Super Saiyan and still attack the Beerus, but he would lose all of his energy and then go to base form, as Beerus would help him down back to Earth. He would threaten to blow up the planet, but then he doesn't, because Vegito's that strong and he just got God Ki. Beerus obviously wants to keep him around and keep his planet around, and also the food's that good, so of course Beerus is not going to blow nothing up. Now, we are going to go into the Frieza arc, as yes, Vegito would find Whis, who was eating food of Bulma, and Whis would be very, very, very easily persuaded to train him, because Beerus saw how we saw how powerful Vegito was, and also Beerus would want him to be trained. So I think Whis would instantly say, "All right, yeah, sure." But the training would go down for the next 2 years, and he would go and he would master his God Ki. As during those 2 years, he easily learned Super Saiyan God, how to control that, and Super Saiyan Blue. He has way better mastery over Super Saiyan Blue, meaning that he doesn't have that issue to when if you go in and out of Super Saiyan Blue, you can only use like 1/10 of the strength of the power, which is what Vegeta suffered when he fought Hit. Not to mention, you don't have to deal with the massive stamina drain that Blue does. As, remember, Vegito's potential is beyond, he has the highest potential of any other Saiyan. I do think that Broly has the highest ability to adapt, but not the potential of Vegito. Vegito's potential is busted. Extremely busted. But now, Frieza was still revived. But something changes a little bit in the story just to make the what if fun. He was told by his soldiers of Goku and Vegeta their story and how they fuse being an even stronger being. Frieza would know that that's not okay. And not to mention that they defeated Boo, and then also now both him and Vegeta are fused and they're way stronger. He would train, instead of 3 months, it would be 6 months. So at least. And he would arrive, the exact same would happen until Vegito arrives to fight Frieza. Now Frieza would also go into his final form, and would give Vegeta, who was in his base, a pretty good warm-up fight. I mean, Frieza would actually be twice as strong as he was before. So he would definitely give Vegito a pretty good warm-up fight, but Vegito's not really trying. I mean, Vegito at this point is just insanely strong. I mean, he's beyond stronger than he was when he fought Merge Zamasu at this point. Frieza would not really have a chance, even if he had 3 more months of training. It would not end well. So I do believe that obviously Vegeta would say, "Alright, Frieza, you're hiding something. I know you are. There's no way that you would come to Earth and not have something up your sleeve, your ace in the card." As Frieza would say the same how he was able to defeat Boo. There's no way that just that Super Saiyan form was able to do it. So I do feel like the trash talking will be there, and Vegito would be a lot more serious. Because, yes, they do want to fight. Vegeta knows how Beerus is. Now remember, Vegito does not have the cons of Goku and Vegeta. Those are gone. He has the pros of each of them. So he knows when to be serious, but he's still very cocky a lot if he knows that he's stronger than them. It's a difference between him and Gogeta, which makes sense. That Gogeta is always super serious, other than the GT version, and Vegeto's a bit more cockier, but he's actually a little stronger. So it does make sense. So he would turn Super Saiyan Blue, showing Frieza his new blue power. And Frieza said, "Was this Super Saiyan with blue hair dye?" And he said something like that. It's Super Saiyan when I mix Super Saiyan God into it, but to call it short, call it Super Saiyan Blue. Frieza would then show off his golden form. And this is his perfected golden form. Because he had 3 extra months of training, he's actually stronger in his form. Or you can call it true golden Frieza if you want. And he also does not have the stamina issue that he had before. Now, power scaling wise, Frieza's not stronger than Vegito by the slightest. Vegito will probably, the fight would definitely go down. It'll be a little bit of a scuffle, but Vegito wouldn't really have a hard time fighting Frieza. Sorry, Frieza, but you can't beat Vegito, especially Vegito has another ace up his sleeve that he hides. It's just, Vegito is just too much of a perfect fighter. Not to mention too, Vegito also has Goku's side, and Goku has fought Frieza before. So he does know, and also same with Vegeta, but they know how Frieza fights as well. So adding that into the fight as well, I mean, Frieza just has no chance in the story. Frieza would definitely try, and Vegeta would drag the fight out because he wants to have fun. But he knows, and he would obviously mess with Frieza and joke with him, because that's what Vegito does. That's his character. That's not going to change. He's always going to be cocky if he knows that he can win. So in the end, he would then use his full power, and he would completely, just absolutely evaporate Frieza. Completely obliterate him by using a final Kamehameha, and Frieza is dead. So that pretty much it, man. I mean, Frieza's gone. So the Frieza saga is over. All pieces brought. The Earth is not destroyed. Whis doesn't have to reverse time. Beerus and Whis can still enjoy their strawberry parfait, I believe they call it, or their ice cream. And yes, Jocko is still showcased. He would be really hyped to see a Supreme Kai item fusion of a Saiyan with God Ki. God, them pictures will be insane that he gets. So yeah, pretty much, all the same would happen. Peace was finally brought back to Earth. until shortly afterwards, Vegito would be training on Whis' planet with the massive weight suit that he has on, but it's way more higher weight since he's way stronger. But then a fat purple cat and an angel appear at Beerus' front door for something, and then the door gets blown down as it was Champa and Vados. On Whis' and Beerus' planet, and this time Vados and Champa do show up, very similar to the original show. And yes, the same thing goes down with Beerus with the noodles, and then they start fighting. You know how it all goes. So yes, Vegito will still get into the Universal little tournament between them two, a little Gaustruction tournament. Now we're just going to gloss over this and just be very blunt. Vegito's going to win. Hit has absolutely zero chance against Vegito. It's not even up for debate. End of story. We're already done with that. I do believe that Vegito will still have a connection with Kappa because of Vegeta's side. And yes, so all that mostly happens the exact same. So this time Beerus would win, and yes, Beerus would still obviously give him the new Earth and have his Earth restored in Universe 6, so Champa can enjoy the Earth delicacies that are there. So all that happens pretty much the exact same. And then yes, Zeno still arrives. Zeno still shows up, and obviously all the gods freak out and they bow and everything. And yes, Vegeta will still have the Goku side of him to where he'll become friends with the Omni Kings, and they'll really like Vegito, and he's really powerful. So yes, all that still happens the exact same. So yes, they have a new best friend, and the gods are terrified now that Vegito is friends with the Omni Kings. But now we're going to get into the most interesting part of this What If. And for this What If, I decided to take things off the rails a little bit. I wanted to make the What If not a generic, oh, it's Vegito Black, let's just have him turn Super Saiyan Rose. Sooner or later, either Trunks beats him, which he probably won't at all, or Vegito beats him. Okay, that's a cool story. But no, this time I decided that I'm going to do something a little bit different. This Vegito Black is going to be much worse. So yes, Zamasu still does go switch bodies with Vegito, as that's the most powerful version, and he's still, most of that confusing stuff, how the Goku Black art was poorly written, still happens the exact same. Everything happens the exact same until they meet up. And yes, they would still fight on Earth in the past, in the current timeline, not in the future. And obviously Vegeta would go, Super Saiyan 1 or 2 or base, doesn't matter. Fight Vegito Black a little bit, I'm saying Goku Black. And Vegito Black would still be forced back into the future timeline, although it would happen the same. Vegito would then go into the future along with Trunks, who, yes, Vegito would also train Trunks a little bit as well, very similar to what Vegeta did. That does not change. So Trunks is around the same, he's nothing special. So that does not change. Now, the main fight is where everything changes. So yes, this is how the fight is going to go down. So Vegito and Vegito Black are going to meet face to face once again, and Vegito's going to be going Super Saiyan Blue, and he's actually going to be putting the beat down on Vegito Black. Because remember, this Vegito is far stronger than the one that Vegito Black has, but Vegito Black is far scarier because this is not just Goku, this is Goku and Vegeta fused together. The potential that they have is insane. And also, Zamasu inside of the body is starting to figure it out. But I do believe that it would be more difficult because it's two beings into one body. Now, a lot of people are wondering too, they're technically two people, so wouldn't it not work? Yes and no. It wouldn't in reality work because Vegito is one being now. Mind, personality, everything. It's not Goku. This is not like the fusion dance, where it's technically two people and they have to work as one. No, this Vegito is a permanent fusion, and he is stuck together. Goku and Vegeta are gone. They are gone. Unless they are defused by the Super Dragon Balls, there is no other way that that's going to be happening. And Zamasu wouldn't want to defuse Vegeta when he was in front of the Super Dragon Balls, because he only get one wish, and also on top of that, that's like the perfect body to go into, so of course he's not going to do that. Fight will go down, Vegito Black is in some trouble, but he loves it as he's letting Vegito Blue do it on purpose. So Vegeta Black would then power up, and he would go Super Saiyan. And he would have the darker circles under his eyes, as it's very similar to the manga. And they would continue fighting and fighting, but Vegeta Black keeps on getting stronger, and then Trunks would join in as well, as Trunks wouldn't really be too much of a help, but it's something to keep him distracted, and, you know, focusing on two people rather than one does help in a fight. And then all of that ends up until future, current, past, the other Zamasu shows up. The Immortal one does show up the exact same, and Vegito and them are forced to evacuate and get away, go back to the current timeline. Now, Vegito does train for a year in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, very similar to what Vegeta did. This is where some crazy stuff had to come in here. He does take Trunks with him. The reason why is because he wants Trunks to be strong enough to be able to fight on his own, because Trunks, I'm sorry guys, Trunks is absolutely a fly compared to Vegito Blue and Vegito Black. It's not even a game. But a year training with Vegito, and Trunks is not a weakling either. Trunks is strong. Very, very powerful. One of the most powerful people. He would definitely be a good training partner. Along, Trunks does have amazing potential. Trunks, this, no joke, what I believe that he would be able to learn God Ki, and after one day, or 24 hours, aka, or 12 hours, to a year, they do come out, and Vegito is a lot stronger this time. Beyond stronger than he was before. To where he can take on Vegito Black now. And Trunks is actually crazy strong. Strong to where he can turn into Super Saiyan God. I do believe that training with Vegito for a year, I do believe in this what if that he could probably access God Ki. Trunks' potential is nuts. Not to mention, we got teased about it with, like we thought he was going to turn Super Saiyan Blue or something. But then he turned Super Saiyan Rage, which, I mean, it was kind of cool. You don't know. That was just lazy writing. They didn't want to make him look more powerful than Vegeta and Goku because he sells better toys. We all know how that goes. So they would go back to the future timeline. Trunks would have little to no issue holding off holding off Zamasu, who he still is immortal. So Trunks still gonna have to fight him, but he's so much more powerful now that he can slap Zamasu around and keep him distracted. So two people not teaming up on Vegito. So Vegito would go fight Vegito Black, and he would easily dominate over Vegito Black. He even tried to go into Super Saiyan 2. Doesn't work against Vegito Blue. He dominates him the entire time. So Vegito Black says, "You have now made me be able to use the peak of this body," and then he changes. But this time it's not Rosé. It's something worse. Now, I don't have an official name for this form. I would call it maybe Divine Form, or you may call it whatever you wish. Let me know in the comments what you would call this form that is appearing on the screen currently, what you would call that. And the reason why I'm doing it is because every what if just always be having, you know, Goku Black and, you know, Vegito, you know, all you know, like just turning Rosé. Well, I want to change it up and make it, and also it does look better on Vegito, with the white hair and the eyes looking like that. So the fight will go down, and Vegito Blue will try and punch him, and it will do nothing to him, and the fight would be one-sided very quickly. So yes, it's bad. And no, this Vegito Black is not all changing to, this is Super Saiyan God. No, he's not like that. He's still that, like, dark, deep, menacing, evil version. Very, you know, almost the exact same as base Goku Black was, but just, you know, just that like dark, evil, menacing, but even more. So he's very, very, very intimidating, and he's no joke. So Vegito Blue is in some trouble. Trunks is too busy holding off Zamasu to really help out, and even if he tried, he knows he couldn't do nothing. So Vegito Blue is going to have no choice, and he's going to show off a new trump card that he has. And Trunks wasn't worried because he knew that his father, or part father, had this power. He would then absorb the Super Saiyan Blue Ki into his body, and his hair would change a little bit, and he would actually evolve to the next stage of Super Saiyan Blue. Now, I do wanted this form to be custom for Vegito because of his potential. Now, this is Super Saiyan. This is almost like a Super Saiyan Blue evolution mixed with perfected Super Saiyan Blue. He is utilizing the absolute full power of Super Saiyan Blue by evolving it to the next level. So it's technically put two forms and put them together. That's exactly what it is. So he doesn't have an aura, but he actually has the ability to use more key weapons, such as what he used to do, to where he can make like the ki beam, but this time he can make ki blades and other things. I do believe that he could do this, especially being so powerful and having so much potential. Goku Black could do it, but it's also because he had special ki. Well, Vegito's special ki as well. He's not a normal Saiyan or a normal mortal being. Power level wise, we don't have no numbers, but scaling wise, he at this point would rival a god of destruction. Maybe not Beerus, but definitely one or two of the god of destructions, the way weaker ones, he could rival their power. And it's not really a high surprise at this point. So he would fight Vegito Black, and we all know how this would go. Vegito Black would try and fuse with Merge Zamasu. But it does not work. And they're mad the reason why it doesn't work, and Vegito, as cocky as ever, would tell him that you're already fused, so you can't fuse again. Because I do believe that in the heat of the moment, they would forget about that. Especially Vegito Black, who's getting completely annihilated during the fight, and they would try it. But it doesn't work this time. They're already a fusion, so you can't do a fusion fused with another person. It's not like a three-way fusion. That's not how it works. So Vegito had enough. He would fire a final Kamehameha, obliterating Vegito Black and obliterating Zamasu. But the problem is, Zamasu does come back as that void around the universe of Zamasu, which Vegito is not going to have a choice. And I do believe that this time, instead of calling Zeno, y'all gonna be crazy, Vegito says, Trunks, get the time machine ready. And this is why. He would actually call for the Spirit Bomb and get as much energy as possible from around the whole entire universe, and then use that power and use every ounce of his power and shoot a final attack right at Zamasu. Long story short, he will blow the entire Universe 7 up. I do, and I know for a fact that he can, because Gods of Destruction can do it. Not to mention, and if you want proof, Goku and Beerus, as a Super Saiyan God, his power was able to shake the entire multiverse, the otherworld, normal, everything. And in a couple of blows stated by Elder Kai, could completely destroy the entire universe if Goku does not control his power right, which Goku did. So we don't really see universal feats because that's destroying the entire universe, but Vegito could do that without really much of an issue. I mean, like you have Broly, who within years was able to destroy the south side of the south side. So, but Vegito's quadrillion times stronger than that. But anyway, long story short, he blows up Universe 7 because it's already doomed anyway. Zamasu taken over everything, so he blows it up. So Zeno was not called to destroy it. That means that there is no future Zeno brought to current Zeno. So Zeno's still lonely. But I do believe that, since Vegito's not two beings, I think that he would also have time for Zeno. Probably go see him and hang out, which would actually make their connection stronger, which in the end would actually help him out. After Vegito defeated Zamasu, things went back to normal until they had to do the Tournament of Power. But what I mean by that is by collecting all the people for Universe 7. And yes, Vegito did have the exhibition match against Toppo, but for Vegito, it was very easy. He would probably need Super Saiyan 2 to really mess with Toppo. And even if he did use Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, it would be overkill, because Toppo would have no chance anyway. But now, the tournament will begin, and Vegito will be the main target, just like how Goku was in the original, for most of the universes, but none could bother him. As he would fight Caulifla and Kale, but he would have zero issue, not even needing Super Saiyan, just in base. Now when Kale did turn into the Legendary Super Saiyan, or the Berserker Saiyan is what they call it, he would then finally turn Super Saiyan and knock her out. Now, instead of Jiren this time, all the gods know of Vegito and how powerful he is. Belmont would tell Jiren to attack Vegito, which Vegito would be very excited, as he heard a mortal stronger than a god of destruction, and it must be him, because he can sense a massive mountain of power within Jiren. So he's really excited because he can have a real challenge. The only other person that can really give him a challenge is Whis, obviously. So he would go Super Saiyan attacking, but Jiren would block it with just one finger, and he would even try Super Saiyan God, and he would push Jiren back, trading blows, but Jiren is just way too strong. As he would get serious, he would go Super Saiyan Blue, as he was pushing Jiren, honestly, to the limit, pushing him to full power. As you guys gotta remember, this is Vegito we're talking about, who never defused since the Buu Saga and has been training with the gods. He is way more powerful than Goku and Vegeta. He's both of them combined, plus with training, and his potential is ridiculous. So I'm being very nice to Jiren here. We can just say that Belmod tell Margarita about how there's a mortal that can rival Jiren, and Belmod made Jiren train more. Let's just go with that. If anybody wants to get iffy about, oh, well, how's Jiren able to even touch him? You know, people want to know about that. So, he would then go into Super Saiyan Blue, and Jiren would then go into his full power, not his limit-breaking form, just his base full power, so it's not the transformation that he used against Master Ultra Instinct Goku. So, they would begin their fight, and it would be pretty even, destroying everything around them, and knocking other people out in the process. Vegeta would push his Super Saiyan Blue to the limits, using key weapons as well, but to no avail, as Jiren would then transform to his limit-breaking power. As he would easily begin beating down on Vegito, he was on the losing end. He would even try Kaioken, which is very dangerous, but it still was not enough because the stamina was running out. So, he has no other options. He even tried Gallic Gun, Final Kamehameha, the Spirit Sword, anything, it was not working. So, he would try out the Spirit Bomb, the same as Goku. But the same would happen as the original, as the Spirit Bomb would then implode and be turned like a black hole thing and then completely blow up. But now, Vegeta would fall to the ground as he would slowly stand up in base as Jiren throws the final punch to end all this. But Vegeta would catch it in his hand, and he would have a smirk, and he would then have a strange aura would then start to surround him. As he threw Jiren with ease away, he would look at his hand surprised, as Vegito now has just turned Ultra Instinct Omen. Being pushed to his limit, Jiren would have no chance, as his power would shock all the gods. Vegito at this point can easily fight all the gods of destruction without too much of an issue. He is not as strong as an angel, but he can fight the gods of destruction. He can fight almost all of them, really, if he wanted to. But Omen has the bad stamina issue, so it's a double-edged sword. He might not be able to hold out, unless he finishes it. But now, all the gods would stand up in shock, and they would all watch, witnessing this power. As even Whis would be very happy that his protege student would actually attain this power, and even the Grand Priest would be impressed by it. Now, Jiren would activate his Limit Breaker again, as they would fight. Now, Vegito was able to hold his own this time in Omen, but he soon lost the form, I remember, because he was not used to it as like before, and Jiren blasted him away. Luckily, he was saved by Android 17, not Frieza this time. Yes, Frieza is still in the tournament, and he's still in his golden glory, running around causing issues. He does still fight Toppo, and he does still get beat up. But we're going to get to that in a second, as we are actually going to cut away from Vegito for a split second. Now, Gohan, as a matter of fact, is a lot more powerful in this because of his father, half-father, Vegito, would actually be making him train more, because even though Goku let him slide on it, Vegeta's side would not let it happen. And Gohan knows that threats like these, he needs to be more serious, and I do think that Piccolo would also be stronger too. All the Z fighters would actually be a lot stronger because of the fact that they have a higher gap to reach, which is like Vegito. So, Gohan is actually, and we're being honest here, he's actually a lot stronger than he was in the original. And he would actually be able to handle most fights without the help of Piccolo and other people. And yes, this version of Vegito does fight Toppo and Dispo. Now, would Hit also join in as well? Hit would sooner or later be defeated by Dispo, as Vegito was too busy dealing with Jiren, who's the biggest threat. So, Hit would not be able to fight Jiren, and most of the Universe 6 would be wiped out anyway because of Dispo and Toppo. But now, Gohan would actually fight Toppo in his ultimate form, and he would actually cause Toppo to go into his God of Destruction form. Now, Frieza would jump in. Now, remember, this Frieza is actually stronger as well, because he just fought Vegito a couple years ago and died, so he's in hell, and he's actually training way more harder so he can try and catch up. And Frieza does have amazing potential. And even Frieza, with his mental training, he was able to close the bridge between Goku from that time to when Goku first turned Super Saiyan Blue, which is a massive gap. So Frieza is actually, I would say, at least twice as strong as he was before, which Is that not enough to defeat Toppo? Obviously not. I still think that Toppo in his God of Destruction form would probably still overpower Frieza, but the beating would not be as severe, because Frieza could maybe land some shots. But now Gohan would jump in. Now remember, this Gohan is built different, as he's been training very difficult, and his power and his potential is insane. He would actually be as strong as Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta. This is not a massive reach. As remember, Gohan, within a short time of training with Piccolo, he was able to reach Super Saiyan Blue Goku's level of power, and this was officially stated. Now, do we know Dragon Ball Super's power scaling? Of course it doesn't make any sense, but if that is the case, then I do believe that if Gohan was throughout, ever since the Buu arc, a lot more serious, and was a lot more seriously training, I can see really how that is possible, and it is very possible that Gohan now is strong, if not even a little bit stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta was in his ultimate form. His Super Saiyan forms are obviously weaker, and his base form. So he would actually fight Toppo, and Gohan would have a moment kind of similar to Vegeta, but without the pride thing, as he would see Videl pan his mother, his father, and Gohan knows that he cannot let them down ever again. As he would even remember fighting Cell and letting everybody down, letting his father die, because he was not strong enough in his eyes. So he would push his powers to the absolute limit, and he would shoot a final Kamehameha against Toppo's full Hakai Ball, and that would actually defeat Toppo and knock him out of the ring. So Toppo's gone. And then Frieza would also fight Dispo, and I do believe that Gohan would then go help him, and they would defeat Dispo together, as Dispo wouldn't really have a chance. As remember, Gohan is so much stronger, and Vegeta's stronger, Dispo doesn't really have, not much of a chance anyway. So, we are now going to cut back to Vegito. Now, Vegito in his Ultra Instinct form, he would then still fight Jiren, and they would be clashing back and forth, destroying the arena around them. As the arena was just a bunch of floating islands now. It wasn't really intact ring anymore. So, Vegeta would then smirk, as Whis would then notice something, that Vegeta was gaining a lot of heat, and that something was happening. So, Vegeta would then catch his hand, and he would then actually smirk, and his hair would turn white. Yep. And his aura would explode, and his power would skyrocket to the ceiling and beyond, and this Vegito has now turned Mastered Ultra Instinct. With his potential, I can definitely see him getting it even a little bit early than how Goku got it, because it's Vegito. It's Goku and Vegeta's potentials boosted together. He's like the perfect being, so I think he could get Mastered Ultra Instinct a little bit earlier than how Goku did. He didn't have to turn so many times. So, I think y'all know what's about to happen here. Jiren would have no chance. Now, power scaling wise, this Vegito is at the level of the Angels without a doubt. He can fight Angels now at full force. Now, can he defeat them all? Obviously not. If they all teamed up on him, he would lose. But I think 1v1, now we don't know how powerful the other Angels are, but we do know that they are not equal power, as Vados is stronger than Whis. But I'll just say this, if he fought Whis that we know, I do believe that Vegito does have around a really good chance, around a 50-50 chance of actually beating Whis, but we've never seen an Angel's full power yet, so we don't really know. But for this what if, and for my what if, I'm just going to say that he actually can really give Whis a really good run for his money. So, he would one-shot Jiren, as he didn't want to kill him, he didn't want to hurt him, but Jiren is zero chance now. But Vegeta would have the highest respect for Jiren, as Jiren is the most strongest opponent that he's ever fought. Other than, the Angels and stuff. And obviously, Zeno would appear with the Grand Priest. As Universe 7 would win, they would have more people, like Frieza, Gohan, Android 17, Piccolo. I do think that Master Roshi and the other guys will be out too, like Tien and them, and Krillin, and Android 18 and all that, but I think that the rest would stay. And Vegeta would still get the wish, because he is the leader of the team. Or if you want to say Gohan, it's fine. But I still think that Gohan will probably say, well, Vegeta was the one who knocked out the most powerful foe. He deserves it. So this is where we run down to. Would Vegeta wish just for Universe 6 to be brought back because of Kaba? Or would he wish for all the universes to be brought back? I'm going to say he wished for all the universes to be brought back because it's the most common sense thing. And if he said something else, then Zeno would have erased the entire universe. So it would be a good idea. That we would have to stop the what if now because Zeno's too powerful. What if Vegito never defused finale? Vegito has won the Tournament of Power, and most of the events would happen the exact same, all up until the Broly arc. Now, the same would happen between Frieza meeting Broly and Paragus, and all that would happen until Vegeta would meet Broly in the frozen tundra on Earth. Now, the same exact fight would really go down, but it'll be much easier, since remember, Broly's doesn't really have much of a chance against Vegito here. Like, Vegito is way more powerful than anything Broly has faced, but I do feel like Vegito would just have fun, and he is going the distance with Broly, and that Broly did turn into his Ikari form. Vegito, in reality, maybe would have needed Super Saiyan, but that's really about it. You know, like, he wouldn't really need something else. Now, Frieza would still kill his father, making Broly go crazy and turn Super Saiyan. Now, it would be kind of fun now for Vegito, as he sees how strong Broly is, and he's growing only stronger, as he would be in Super Saiyan God now, and it's all he needs currently, which is overkill anyways, as he's so much more powerful than Broly even in Super Saiyan God. But he would push Broly past his limit again, and Broly would turn into his full power Super Saiyan, or Legendary Super Saiyan, whatever you want to call it. Now, Vegeta would turn blue just to be sure that he can hold off Broly, and he would easily beat Broly, knocking him out. But he has high respect for him, as his power is beyond amazing. There's only a few selected people that Vegito knows in his entire life with power like that. As Broly would be knocked out, Chi-Lai would still make the wish and send him to Vampa, which Vegito would smile knowing he was safe and sound. Frieza would let go, and he would leave during the fight anyways, so yes, Frieza does not get beat up for an hour, but he'll be mad and he'll leave as the fun's over. Now we're going to go into the Moro arc, and this is where things will change a lot. Now, they would meet Moro on Namek, and he was very old, and obviously, you know, he needed the energy so he can get his youth back and get his power back. Now, Vegeta would fight him, and I think he would soon figure out that Moro was stealing his power, and Moro would get younger because Vegito has so much more power, but Moro doesn't have a chance against Vegito. I mean, Vegito is so much more powerful, so Vegito can just turn Master Ultra Instinct at this point, because I do feel like he is able to learn how to turn in and out of it, because this is Vegito we're talking about, and his potential is so much more higher than anything else that Goku has done. So, we're just going to say that. So, Moro would then need his magic to even survive against Vegito. As Vegito would fly in and show a move not even Moro can block, as Vegito cannot use Ki Blast or anything like that because Moro would just eat it and absorb it, getting stronger. So Vegeto's going to use an attack that he's going to steal from Beerus. Now, he would use the Akai ability. Now, Vegito was training with Beerus and Whis for so long, and Goku can kind of do it, but it's like a fake Akai as well, so why not Vegito? So, Moro would be gone forever, as he wouldn't have time to try and escape, as he would be erased from existence. Now, the Fusion Warrior would laugh, and then something would happen oddly. Their earrings would glow and his body contorts as he would state what's happening, as then they would defuse back into Goku and Vegeta, who would both be in utter shock seeing what happened. Goku would say how this is even possible, since the earrings were permanent, they're one being now. Whis would arrive with Beerus and see what happened, and he would explain that the earrings made you two fuse forever, but Moro had extremely high magic which caused him to deactivate. Now, for my explaining, I stated that the fusion without the time limit, it's pretty much their whole fusion, but without the time limit that they kind of BS'd in Dragon Ball Super. So they're just a permanent fusion together, and he did not let the Majin magic mess with him because he kept the barrier up when he was inside Boo's body because he was afraid he would get absorbed. So that's the reason why he was able to keep the fusion. So, since Moro is much stronger magic user, and that's mainly what all he really uses, it would wear off the magic earrings, and it can last forever, but that doesn't mean the magic can wear it off. Or also, they could have also used the Super Dragon Balls to defuse them, since they can do anything in the multiverse any wish, as it doesn't have a limit, so they could have really in reality defused themselves as well with the Super Dragon Balls. So, Vegeta would then instantly crush the earring, as smirking as he said he has never felt so alive after being trapped for all those years. As Goku would agree, saying, "It's better this way now." Now, you gotta remember, they have been fused together as one being for years and years and years. So they are extremely happy that now they can be in their own bodies again, and they can now be on their own. So they're not going to be fusing as Vegito anytime soon. Not to mention they can't really do it anyway because the earrings are gone. So what are they else going to do? Other than the fusion dance. But it would be a funny scene to see Beerus get really mad because he's like, oh, well, now that Great Warrior is gone. Because remember, Beerus doesn't really know Goku and Vegeta. He only knew Vegito. Same with Whis. So he wouldn't really have a connection as he did with Vegito. But if he thinks it's like the other two, then he'll probably get along with it. And I do feel like Goku would just tell Beerus saying that, well, I am Goku and that's Vegeta, and we're the two Saiyans, blah, blah, you know, and we fuse with the earrings, which Beerus already knows, and Beerus would just, he would mainly just be mad because such a strong warrior is gone now. Now how's he going to have fun and fight him? But Goku would probably tell him, same with Vegeta, that they're still just as strong, and it's better this way, because if he was like, fusion is cheating, because it's just two people putting their powers together, and it should only have been used for a short time to defeat an opponent. And Goku and Vegeta want to get stronger on their own anyways, so Vegeta would probably just tell him, I'm never fusing with you ever, ever, ever again. And which would be really funny. Even with the fusion dance, I don't think Vegeta would ever fuse with them again. Just because, like, the Batara earrings gave him, like, PTSD probably for being fused for Kakarot for so long. It was probably, like, torture for Vegeta. So, Whis would be very interested in training the two, and he does see that they are much more weaker than Vegito was, but they're still just as, you know, they're still extremely strong. Now, would they be as strong as they were in the original, or would they be stronger? I do feel like they would actually be a lot stronger than the original, because they are fused as Vegito and they're still training together, so they're still having the amazing potential. They wouldn't, like, defuse and then go back to the original power that they had back in the Buu Saga. That wouldn't make any sense. They're pretty much Vegito's power currently just split in half. So it's 50-50. So they're actually still beyond stronger than they were in the original, just by themselves. Now, another thing too, can Vegeta use Master Ultra Instinct, and can Goku use Ultra Instinct as well? Yes, Goku can use Ultra Instinct and Master Ultra Instinct still, because he naturally can do it, and I do feel like since they've been Vegeta for so long, Vegeta can also use Ultra Instinct. Maybe not as to the level of Goku can, because Vegeta has that issue, and his tenacity and arrogance clouds his mind a lot, and even we stated that Vegeta's mind is more of like a destroyer mind, for like Hakai and things like that. But Vegeta can still use Master Ultra Instinct. So it's not like both of them cannot use it, it's just a bit more difficult for Vegeta. But for Goku, it's more of like a natural flowing power for him. For Vegeta, you know how Vegito is. So we are also now going to send them back to Namek, and they're going to meet their friends and family. Obviously, Chi-Chi and Bulma would be beyond happy to see their husbands and not have to worry about the passing back and forth. And they would have missed Vegeta, but they're way more happier to see their, you know, their Goku and their Vegeta back. Now, obviously, Gohan and everybody else would be so happy to see his father. Trunks would be happy to see his father. Goten, everybody will be happy to see the original Goku and Vegeta back, not just Vegito. Now, the only funny thing is Goten and Trunks would probably be sad that they're not like brothers anymore. But they would probably just say, hey, we can still be brothers anyway. You know, it's just a little cute thing. And I do feel like Goku and Vegeta would probably end it off saying, hey, Vegeta, let's actually see how strong we've gotten since we haven't had a match together in so long. And they would begin fighting, doing their own thing, as Beerus would watch, saying that, wow, they actually still are pretty powerful. Very powerful for being unfused. Now, we're going to glaze over the Granola arc and just say that Granola would still be stronger than them because he would still wish to be the most strongest being in the universe, and then Gas would wish for higher than that. But I'm not going to continue that What If series for the Granola arc yet, because the Granola arc is not finished yet. Same with the Gas arc. So I want to wait until that's all finished before I continue on with the What Ifs and stuff, because it wouldn't just seem right. But most likely, we know how the story would go. Goku and Vegeta will ultimately win either way. Either Gas loses, or Goku unlocks a better Ultra Instinct, Vegeta gets them, or they use fusion, like the fusion dance, or something would happen. But we don't know yet until the manga comes out and they beat them somehow, some way. So that is it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy this series. You know, this series is pretty old. It's been a little bit back, and I was just looking at it, and I wasn't going to continue this series, but then I decided, well, people did and like it pretty much, so why not continue it and end it off. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. We are beyond close to getting there, and I cannot wait to show you guys a video that I'm going to make for the 1,000 subscriber special, and thank you for all you guys. So, I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you all later.